Hey guys, so here are the notes for 1.1. We are going into quadratic functions. And for this one, we are going to be graphing first. So for this one, we're going to be graphing quadratic functions in standard form. Okay, what is a quadratic function? Well, it has the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, where a does not equal 0. If it did, then that would become a linear function, okay? Now, the type of graph that we call it is a parabola, okay? And then that is a U-shaped. Now, going back into our transformations, remember if a is greater than 0 or positive, then our graph opens up. And if our a value is negative, it opens down. When our absolute value of a is less than 1, then our graph is wider. Okay, remember that is called a vertical shrink. And when our a value, or the absolute value of a is greater than 1, that is narrower, and we call that a vertical stretch. So we're going back to some of those transformation words we talked about. So if it opens down, remember that's called a reflection, and that will be usually a reflection over the x-axis. Okay, now our vertex, that is going to be the lowest or highest point on the graph, just like when we did with absolute value. It was either the highest or lowest point. And then the axis of symmetry, it's going to be a vertical line that goes through the vertex. So whenever we find the vertex, then we'll know the axis of symmetry. Okay, now there are 3 forms of quadratic equations. We are going to do the first one in this 1.1 notes. Standard form is going to be y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Now the x coordinate of the vertex, how do we find that? I make sure you highlight, or whenever you write your notes for this, do something. So write this down and highlight it, okay? So the x coordinate of the vertex, in order to find that, we have x equals negative b over 2a. And then to find the y, we just plug that back into our equation to do so. The axis of symmetry, that's going to be the same, okay? So whatever the x value of our vertex is, that's going to be our axis of symmetry, and we do x equals whatever that number is. Okay, so I want you guys to watch the next video. There, we're going to be talking about how to graph quadratics in standard form.